Freezing overbrook sunrise, fresh snow crunching under boots, roaring red reflections in glass of every unbroken window, capped in white bricks and snow to accent red bricks and bright red glare under fancy copper gutters, elaborate leaders and a frozen copper cupola with morning raven croaking at the dawn like a haunted rooster, not complaining of the cold but reveling in it, just like me. Every step breaking clean snow, the only prints from herds of deer in fresh powder over deep drifts and grazing lines up the field, past the gazebo, walking through tall dead grass, morning fog still swirling, soon to be burnt off by the sun, but not just yet. Everything above the mist is sharp with long morning rays, and the windows catch and hold beams of color, lit up so bright it looks like fire, but with no smoke. A grinning jack-o'-lantern, out of season but perfectly placed to inspire Halloween feelings all year round. Normally, this would be a bad place to walk, up the fields and on the roads just outside the backside of the hospital. Not so dangerous today, though. The roads up here haven't been plowed all this year, so the cops can't drive up so easily to bother with people like me, who are now inside the decaying asylum, where it's even colder than outside, and breath billows in basement of reception, staring at the 4-drawer morgue, spray-painted stainless steel drawers of the cooler, with racks for body storage, these dirty trays of death, so solid. The morgue drawers have been vandalized, but in general the apparatus is still intact, and hasn't been collected for scrap metal or dismantled for souvenirs. It's dirty here. The sense of death and mortality is strong. Also, it smells pretty bad, even on this frozen morning. Further down the hall, the science laboratory with its massive autoclave and huge submarine hatch-style wheel for big sterilization jobs that are no longer performed. Bags and bags of biohazard medical waste left to rot on floors, tables, gurneys, moldering medihazard covering every available surface, and entire libraries of patient records spilling out of ancient filing cabinets. Stories of phobias, venereal disease, mind sickness, agony, grief. Vandals have strewn them across the floor for my reading pleasure, but not today. Suddenly craving sunshine, take the stairs leading up out of the low basement. Piles of pigeon dung on landing under broken window, frozen enough to not get stuck between waffle tread of boots. Going up, up, up to the roof of reception, standing at the edge 5 stories high, looking out on snowy world below. The sun now peeling back mist over Verona, Cedar Grove, Montclair, Claridge House landmarks on the next mountain to the east, now visible, cold and clear, fog almost gone. 3 turkey buzzards soaring overhead, riding high airwaves, looking for moist red spots in all this white. And Overbrook is a tremendous red splotch, dead carrion leftovers of an obsolete institution. But their view is white-capped roofs of snow, punctuated by gaping holes where dormers or copper cupolas were stripped for scrap, and dripping water, rotted wood underneath, collapsing into gaping holes and contrasting sharply black with snow around. Down below, a herd of deer paw at the drifts for buried greens, smoke emanating from quadruped nostrils and billowing clouds. Lovely vegetarian beasts living off the land, down there in the sanitarium field. Lone buck standing apart from females, munching and staring into the woods. And it feels good to be up here, dressed warm in toasty gloves, 2 insulating layers under pants, sweatshirt under heavy jacket. Not rushed or pestered by the cold, no need to seek warmth inside, not that inside would be any warmer anyway, here in Overbrook, where it is colder indoors than out, except in steamy summer when the heat builds up and the mental ward comes to a boil. This asylum always struggled with temperature control. Funny how some things never change. But no matter what the season, Overbrook smells bad, like mold, soggy plaster, disinfectant, medical waste, and death. But wait, things are changing here. This will be Overbrook's last winter. Where these wards stand next year will be new condominiums in the final stages of completion, lining this property in rows and clusters, growing on old asylum land like fungus on a corpse, the creeping spores of modern overpopulation, landlust, and greed. But the smell of Overbrook, that rank, infected, fly-blown hospital stench, is so supernaturally strong and persistent that it will surely infect the new condos, which will reek from the foundations up of sick mental patient ghosts standing in line outside master bedrooms, looking for nightly medication from sleeping tenants who had no idea this space on the second floor of their new home was the nurse's station of the back male hill. And oh, what a day at the Overbrook Asylum. Walked the entire hospital and didn't encounter a single living soul. Overbrook is such a tourist trap these days. It's nice to get some alone time. That's why I visit during rainstorms or after heavy snowfall, early in the morning or in the dead of night. It's also good during cataclysmic world events when everyone is distracted by TV and emergencies, while I haunt the old asylum alone, still in shadows, sometimes sitting in day room chairs, taking in the mood of the abandoned asylum. Everything covered in muck and plaster sludge, growing moss, now brown and icy with cold. Spray-painted vulgarities on walls, ceiling, and floor. The old layers of paint beneath new spray paint, peeling off in fish food flakes, covering rotting linoleum tiles, and destroying good graffiti. In this case, a huge demon face that utilizes holes in the wall for eyes. But now the plaster is chipping, and the demon is left with half a face. Fun stuff like this. The asylum is a museum of still lifes that will give you a shudder even in the summer. The very essence of spooky horror, the main line of rotting decay. No ordinary vacant abode, but a full-fledged, haunted, abandoned mental institution. Essex County Hospital Center, Overbrook. Spent 2/3 of my life over the brook. It won't last much longer, but I will always have this Overbrook day, now with frozen fingers and ink-stained hand from scribbling in notebook about winter wards and sanitarium impressions, collecting words from Overbrook before the old asylum falls.